Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So I have the Anne earrings here that go with the bracelet. So the bracelet you've loved, and I'm so happy that you do love it. I have the earrings right here. A necklace will be coming up, and maybe even a ring, because I'm just having so much fun with this. Anyway, let's take a look at the earring. So the earring, this is what the earring looks like. So they're kind of, looks pretty from the front and the back. I've got one with a long, so the vertical drop here, and then I have one with a Briolette. This is a gemstone, a aventurine. Just love these, where the hole goes this way. I'll show you how to do both. Okay, and if you have made the companion earrings, you can actually add the Chaton on top of that. So these are the companion earrings, which is the same, it's pretty much the same component, only I have the bicones on the outside instead of the pearls, and the pearls are on the inside. So remember that one where we did this? You can actually add the Chaton on those earrings, of course, if you can take off your ear wire. And you can have this type of earring. So very versatile because it is an addition to the original Elizabeth bracelet, Elizabeth I bracelet, and the companion bracelet. So we're really playing off that particular design, and it's really coming out to make a lot of beautiful different pieces. So I'm going to clear this off. I'm going to get a materials list going, and we're going to get started on this earring. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please ring the bell so you get notified when I upload a video, and we'll get started. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So you're going to need an 8mm Chaton, like so. That's the one with the pointed back. It's an SS39. Some people have made the bracelet with an 8mm rivoli or an 8mm flat back, like the hot fix, but without the hot fix on the back. I haven't done that yet, but I know the Chaton works, and so if you have the rivoli or the flat back, give it a try, see if it works. Okay, you need a 4mm bicone and a 4mm pearl. Now I'm on the search for alternatives to Swarovski, because they've made that business decision not to sell to us crafters anymore. So I did order some 4mm bicones and 4mm pearls from Potomac, and I love them. They're really pretty. So I ordered a bunch. I won't show you them all here, but these are Pacific Opal. They're not the same color as the Swarovski, but they're pretty nice bicone. I mean, they work very well in this project. I will be using them today. And these pearls, 4mm pearls, I love this color. So when I got them, I was looking at them and thinking, are these, kind of all different colors? Are they all one color? So I strung them, and look how pretty they are. So they are really beautiful. They're really nice shine. Some of them have like a little bit of material stuck at the edges, like even Swarovski has that, but very few. So not bad, really a very pretty pearl, and I love this color. I'll put this in the description box. This is like my new favorite pearl color, and these are Czech pearls, and I absolutely love them. 2mm Firepolished bead. You need a 15-0, an 11-0. You need your 3mm Bugle beads. And then if you're doing this one, you need the drop. This is a Briolette. It's an aventurine, so it's a stone. The hole goes this way. If I can find I bought these on Etsy a very long time ago. If the shop is still there, I'll link it below. And these are a couple of just crystal drops. These are Preciosa. So if you're doing this one used this drop. You can use any drop, really. These are about 10 by 7, something like that. I forgot to put a little 3mm bicone in, so let me just grab the 3mm bicone, because I did buy them in 2 and 3s. So if you're doing this one, you'll need just a couple actually, 3mm bicones. Pair of ear wires, stop bead. I'm using a size 11 beading needle. Have a 12 handy. I'm using these John James. Haven't used these yet, believe it or not. Probably the only person on earth, only beader on earth who hasn't used a John James beading needle yet. 8-pound Fireline black satin. I think that's about it. Did I say ear wires? Yeah, here we go, on a stop bead. I think we're good. Anything I forgot, anything I need to add, I'll put in the description box below the video, along with links to all the colors. This is the one we're going to create today. I'll put all the colors to both of them, this one as well, in the description box below the video, so don't forget to click the down arrow, show more. You know the drill. You know the Bronzepony 10 mat, the Ringberries mat. This is the No More Oops bead tray. Check that out as well. All right, so I'm going to clear this off and we'll get started. Okay, let's get started. So thread your needle with about 3 feet of thread, put on a stop bead, and leave about a 10 to 12 inch tail. We'll use that tail to put on the ear wire if you like. You can always put that on separately if you want. So I've picked up and dropped down to my stop bead 2 of my 4mm pearls and 2 of my 4mm bicones. I'm going to sew those into a circle. Like that. And then I'm going to go around and reinforce the entire unit. So just sewing through every bead. I just move my unit around just to be comfortable to sew. Like that. Just passing my stop bead. So the way I want you to exit is, hold on, I have to look at my notes. Go around one more time. So I'll just show you how I want you to hold your piece. So here, this is how I want you to hold your piece. So you have a bicone at the top, like that. A pearl at the bottom, pearl here, a bicone here. So just like that. So now we're going to pick up 1 fire polish bead, 2 pearls, and a bicone. Like that. Exiting right here, just going to sew right through this one. So if you've done the bracelet, we're doing the exact same thing. We're just putting sort of a different sequence of beads on for the earring. Just like that. I'm going to pull in this direction, skip that fire polish, and sew through the next pearl. And I'm going to pull this tight like that. So this is what I have so far. Okay, so get to that point, and then we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So we have put on this unit. We're exiting this pearl. I just want you to take your needle and thread. Just continue around by sewing through this pearl and this bicone. So no beads on your needle, just moving the needle around to get into position. So, just like that. I'm going to add 1 bicone and 2 pearls. Like that. Exiting the top of this bicone, just sew through the other side of it. Like that. Pick up a fire polish, sew directly up through that bicone above where your thread is coming out of. Pull, like that. Pick up 2 pearls. Exiting this bicone, you're going to sew through this bicone here, on the diagonal through the bicone that you're exiting, skipping that little 2mm. Just ignore that guy. So just like this. Looks kind of weird as you're doing it, but that's what you do. And you're going to pull. Like that. This is what we have on so far. All right, so I'm just going to let you get to that point, and then we'll continue. Right. So we're exiting the top here, this bicone. Just take your needle and thread, sew through this pearl. You're going to pick up an 11-0, sew through the next pearl. So we're putting an 11-0 in the corners there. Pick up a fire polish, sew through the next pearl. Just moving my piece, picking up an 11-0, sewing through the next pearl. Picking up a fire polish, sewing through the next pearl, picking up an 11-0, sewing through the next pearl, on ahead through the pearl, the fire polish, and the next pearl, pull, pick up a 11-0, sew through the next purl, and one last fire polish through this purl. If I can find the hole in it. Where are you? There we go. So through that purl, so putting on the last fire polish. Okay, this is what it looks like. Just going to advance your needle through the next 11-0, purl, and fire polish. Like that. So this is the little unit that we have at the moment. So just get to this point, and then come on back, and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So we're going to start making the embellishment for the Chaton. So we're going to pick up, so you're actually exiting one of the fire polish beads. I'm not sure if I'm in the exact same place you are, but it doesn't really matter which fire polish bead as long as you're exiting one of them. So we're going to pick up 5 11-0s. Exiting fire polish, going to skip over to the next fire polish. So this is sort of like the netting that we did on the bracelet. It's like that. Another 5. Do the next fire polish. And you want to make sure you pull. You want them nice and snug. Another 5 11-0s through this fire polish bead. Pulling. One more time. Through the one we started with. Give them a nice pull. And then sew up to the first 3 beads of the next group of 5. Just right there. Okay, I'm just going to let you get to that point and then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So now we're going to put on the bugle beads. So we are exiting number 3 bead of this group of 5 here. And I'm going to use a contrasting color so it's easy for you to see. So pick up a 15-0, a bugle bead, and a 15-0. And you're just going to skip over to this group of 5 and sew through number 3 bead. Like that. Kind of popping it into place. Do that again. 15-0, bugle bead, 15-0. Skipping over to this group of 5, sew up through bead 3. Like that. Just going to do that 2 more times. And then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, on the last group, 15-0, bugle bead. 15-0. You're going to sew through bead number 3. So that's the original bead we started with of this group of 5 here. And then up through the 15-0 bugle bead and 15-0 like that. Alright, so we've placed our bugle beads and some 15-0s. And now we're going to pick up one 15-0 and we're going to sew through the next 15-0 bugle bead, 15-0. Do you hear the geese flying overhead? They're so loud. So we're putting a 15-0 in between these 2 15-0s. So picking up a 15-0 so that the next 15-0 bugle bead, 15-0. 15-0. Exiting this 15-0, so through the next 15-0 bugle bead, 15-0, 15-0, so through the next 15-0 bugle bead, 15-0. So I'm making a little square cage sort of to put the stone in, 15-0, so through the next 15-0 bugle bead, 15-0. It's like that. So now that you have all the beads on for the bezel, before we put the stone in, I want you to just sew through everything you just put on. So all the 15-0s and all the bugle beads. All right, I'll go off camera and finish that, and then just meet me around, and then we'll put the stone. Okay, so I've sewn around. My little cage looks great. The cat hair. For some reason I can't seem to get that cat hair off there. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna pop my chaton in. So just pop it in, and you might have to play with a little bit to get it to stay, because we're going to reinforce this. Okay, so it's in. Give it a little pull. You can hold it down with your thumb like that. So there we go. Now you're just going to sew around the whole group of beads again, and that's what keeps this stone in, is making this nice and tight on the top. And you shouldn't have any problem getting through the beads. You might need to use your size 12 beading needle. So just play with a little bit until it goes in. You can even hold it down like this and give it a little push until you're happy with the way it looks. So I'm just going to sew around the rest of it off camera, and then come on back and we'll finish up the earring. Okay, here we go. So the bezel is done and it's nice and secure. Looks great. So at one point, we're going to hold the earring this way, kind of like a diamond shape. See, so like this. So you want to be exiting one of these groups of 15-0, bugle bead 15-0. That's probably closest to, one of the top points here, where you're going to put your ear wire or your drop. So I'm exiting a 15-0. So I'm just going to, so here, see that? I have a 15-0 bugle bead 15-0. I'm just going to sew through these 3 11-0s. So I'm just working my way down to this 11-0 here. So through the 3 11-0s, the Firepolished bead, the pearl on the side, and that 11-0. So I just snaked around until I got to there. So whichever point you're getting to, and the other thread will kind of move that thread around as well. So at this point, I want to put on this drop. So I'm going to, let me pull that back for a second. I'm gonna start with the drop. You could do the ear wire, but I'm gonna start with the drop first. So all I've done here is I have this really pretty Briolette, and these are in aventurine. I'm gonna pick up 1, 2, 3 11-0s, and I'll go through one side. It's such an easy drop to put on, and it's so beautiful. I love the gemstones. 3 more. Gonna come through the other side of the 11-0 I'm exiting. That's how we're going to get that drop on, just like that. I mean, you can get more elaborate if you like, and add a bicone. You can try to put 11-0s all the way around. I always opt for, I don't know, probably like the most simple, but use your, if you want it a little more ornate, you can do all kinds of stuff. Okay, then I just went around to reinforce, and now I'm just coming through the 11-0 that's in between the pearl and the, in between the 2 pearls there. So here I have my drop on, see, just like that. So what you're going to do is take this thread, and you're going to either sew it in, or if let's say you don't have any thread left in the back for some reason, you can always snake your way up here to use it for the ear wire. So if you're going to do that, you're just going to go through this one, just the pearls, all the exterior beads until you come out of here. So either take this thread and do that, or your tail thread, and make sure you're coming out of this seed bead up here, and we'll put the ear wire. Right, let's get the ear wire on. So I just took the same thread I was using, and I just sewed through all the beads on the outside till I came out, or this way till I came out that top 11-0. So here's I'm using a leverback. I'm doing a very simple connection, 11-0 through the hole in the leverback. These have the open hole, so I'm just going to make sure that my beads sit nicely. So at the moment I'm just putting it through and then coming through the other side like this. So when I pull it up, I want to make sure that the beads are on either side. See that? So I have bead here, bead here. When I pull, I have an 11-0 on either side. I'm going to sew up through this 11-0. See if I can hold it like that. I'm going to pick up a 15-0, sew through the hole, pick up another 15-0, sew through the 11-0 on the other side. I know it looks like a big jumble right now, but once I pull everything, it'll all go into place. And then through this guy again. This is kind of the easiest way to do it with these leverbacks. And see what happens when I pull it. The little 11-0s are on either side of the ring. The ring is sort of situated in between these. The two 15-0s are on either side up here. The 11-0s are sort of situated on either side of the ring. So there's no pressure on the thread anywhere. Whoops, going the wrong way. Keep going this way. Go around and reinforce. So I won't do that. I'll do that off camera, but I'm just going to go out, reinforce, and I'm going to sew my threads in, or you sew your threads in. I'm going to be taking this out so I can put the bronze beads here. But just so go around again until you feel it's secure enough. Or if you're a wire guardian person, put on a wire guardian or whatever connection you like. But then sew in your threads and meet me back here and we'll finish up. Okay, so we're back for a second because I want to show those of you who are using this type of drop with the vertical hole how to get this on. And very simple again. I'm just going to show you on this piece. So let's say this is where I want my thread coming out. So you've done your everything, and you're exiting one of the corners, the 11-0 in one of the corners. I'm going to pick up an 11-0. I'm going to pick up a drop, and then I'm going to pick up a 15-0, a 3mm bicone, and 3 15-0s. This is what I have right now. I'm going to skip the 3 15-0s. I'm going to sew up through the bicone, the 15-0, and the drop. So I'm making a little picot down there. Let me move this out of the way. This is what I have. Pick up an 11-0, very simple again, and just sew through the original 11-0. So you see how that makes a picot at the top, just like that. And then you're just going to go around all your beads again, and then you're going to sew in your threads. Okay, so here we'll just end on this. So you have both ways, depending on how you want to do it. Here's our bracelet, here are our earrings. The necklace is coming up. It should be the next video. It's just bigger, so it's going to take me a little bit longer, and so I want it to be beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make your earrings. We can even make a little ring out of this. I'm loving this pattern so much. It's been so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you make them, post them on Facebook. Thank you so much for all the beautiful Facebook posts you've put up. Just gorgeous. I'm so, it really warms my heart that you make this stuff and that you absolutely love it. So thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.